this is the stuff that, again, it leads you right on that path where Sekhmet's going to be like, let me show you how to speak miracles, how to roar, how to stand in this life in miraculous, beautiful, queenly ways. My name is Katherine Live, and on this channel I like to talk about conscious motherhood, spiritual growth, the divine feminine, awakening, and a lot more. And today we're going to talk about detaching from dislike, from the things that you don't like. We're going to talk about how to create some space around you. When there's an invitation, when life is giving you an invitation to feel something really deeply, then you should do it. If you're feeling upset, annoyed, irritated, numb even, just acknowledge it and to say yes to fully feeling it, because that's going to be the thing that helps you get through it the fastest. I like to get through those things as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's just my take. I don't like hanging out in weird feelings. I don't like doing that. So this message is very much about like moving energy. Okay, it's very much about that. And what I have found is I can become paralyzed in my trauma. I can become totally frozen in those moments. We've all experienced that before. It's like shock, right? I heard this story. There was a story that I heard that totally is like, this is so relevant, that there was an airplane that was gonna crash. Like there was just this like horrible event, and they sort of knew that they were gonna have to come in for like a really hard landing, and there were people on the plane, like the oxygen masks came down, and then I think they like landed. I remember what it was. They landed, and there was part of the plane that was on fire. So they all had to get out. They had to get up and get out of that plane because it was on fire. And some of the people in the plane were with it, and they were able to get up and get themselves off the plane. But there were some people on the plane that were totally shocked. They were just shocked, and they couldn't get up. They couldn't move. They were just like paralyzed, right? And this video is for the people who you're going to get up. You're going to get up because you're in a relationship with life, and you understand the preciousness of your life, and you're in a lucid place with life. Okay? This video is for you. And this video is for those of you that would be sitting there shocked on the plane. So much love. So much love for our human collective right now and everything that we are going through. Let's talk about, what does a snake or a cat do when they don't like something? They make a noise. They make a hiss. They rattle their tail. They let you know, I don't like that. I don't like that. What just happened? I don't like it. Okay? Now there's like this ruby ray transmission that wants to come through with that I've been working with this year. And it's this very holy activation that is the baseline of the chakra system, or the rainbow bridge to ascension, right? You got to have the red in there. Okay? And that ray of consciousness is the acceptance of our primal nature. And it doesn't mean that we have to express as a hiss or a rattle. That's how a snake likes it. That's how a cat does it. For myself, it's a really deep breath. It's like a really deep few breaths, right? When I'm really in it and I'm experiencing something that is just like, how the fuck did this happen? I'm like, okay, we're gonna breathe through this one. So that's sort of, that's the first reminder when you are going in to those feelings. You're going in, you're allowing yourself to be in that innocent state of like willing to feel it all, right? Chest up to the sky, like, okay, give it to me, give me more life. That's going to come with moments that are going to feel unfair. And when that moment comes, you're going to be able to breathe. You're going to remember this, and you're going to be able to breathe through it. You're going to take really deep breaths until you can get into a place where you can allow this energy to move even more. And we're going to talk about that in this video. What I think needs to be acknowledged in this video as well, just to shed some light on, is what has our current matrix system taught us to do? What has been taught to us when you become very triggered in that way? Okay, there's a few things. One, to lie. Tell a lie. It's not that bad. Okay? The other is to take that anger and project it. And let me tell you, there are some women that have made an art of that war. They are able to project. It's just this psychic bullet, that comes and is really, really fucking painful. And that's war consciousness in action. All right. And I want to bring that up because nobody's perfect. I'm not saying that I've been perfect in this path. We're taking a look. We're putting some things out on the table right now. Just take an inventory of different consciousnesses, the different ways that they want to express, different ways they want to move through and out of you. What we're being invited into is a new and more respectful way to just be with what we don't like. And the more that we do that, the more that we actually start to embrace those moments of like, I am so uncomfortable right now. I really dislike this. This is really, really uncomfortable. The more that we become very respectful to that process, the less jarring and the less intense that those moments kind of like invoke some sort of big response from you. So in essence, what I'm saying is like, the more that you practice what I'm saying here, the more that you're going to be able to move into a place of true neutrality. I have to say, there's not much anymore that can put me like in a tizzy or in a rampage or like enrage me. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I need to like consciously journey to the underworld and like and I transmute that level of rage. I've certainly expressed it in my life. So what this video is inviting you into is to do just that, is to learn how to get the rage out, get the dislike out, get the unfairness out, get the hurt out, move it, work with a therapist, work with cranial sacral or an inner child healer. There's a number of ways, whatever you're feeling naturally called to, move it out. Move it out. It's time to move it out, right? The physical body. This is very much, again, this is that red ray transmission. When you do this for yourself, when you allow that for your heart, there is an authentic kindness and understanding that starts to blossom in your heart. And it can be offered amongst queens and kings. There is this kind of this first baseline step though, if you're still really dealing, if you have blocks in your life, if you feel like there's a block anywhere from doing anything, if you feel blocked to do anything, then here it is, okay? This is it. Something happened that you disliked, that you thought wasn't fair, that you thought wasn't right, that hurt you, and is now out of balance within you. It's about going in and really getting familiar with that block. And your mind will show you things, and maybe you're thinking, right? The ego wants to say, what the fuck? What, that doesn't have anything to do with this. Write it down. Start to like put on your investigator hat, write that down. You know, you might think of a long lost relative and something that seemingly is like, what do those two things have to do together? But start, once you get into that listening and you start taking some notes on that, there's like a feeling that'll come up like, oh, this is what I felt. I felt abandoned. I felt like the only person that would listen to me as a child, you know, moved across the country. And I had to go, I was left with no one to listen to me, right? Or something like that. And it's like, oh, that's what happened. Okay. And then you start to be with yourself about like, what, did I feel angry about that? Did I feel like it was unfair? Did it hurt me? What happened there? You know? The queen code in this and the ruby offering in this is when we decide to do this process in our own contained energy field. Now, again, I'm still work with therapists, work with people who are healers, okay? But then those healers are probably going to give you some homework. Those healers are probably going to say, like, continue on this healing path, right? When you're continuing on that healing path, those are the moments where you are doing it on your own. I'm not saying don't go to other teachers or anything like that. I think that's highly important to get the mentorship that we need and to work with people who can help us get to this point where you can be with yourself and your energy is contained around you, and you can very responsibly be with yourself and very respectfully be with yourself. And you can have all the crying and all of that, and you can invite the little one within you to just have a breakdown, and that's all okay. What I'm hearing now is that after you find the hiss, right, that breath, that fire breath, if you go through this process, Sekhmet is saying, then I'll help you find your roar. But you're not going to find that deep belly roar. You're not going to, that womb throat connection, that turns on after we detach from the dislike. We detach from what we don't like that. Okay, you let it go. You offer it up, let it go, right? Say a prayer. You're doing incredible. You're doing just such an incredible job. And thanks for being here in this video as we talk about some of these more like, you know, this is the shadow work. This is the work, and it's the good stuff though. And we all get to be the queen. You know that, right? We all get to be the king and the queen of our reality. There's so much space here for all of us to do that. And I'm honored to be standing with you on that path, walking that path. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending the biggest blessing to you today. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.